basically the Japanese, we had cut the Japanese off from scrap metals and other things needed for an industrial nation. And the Japanese knew war with the United States was going to be inevitable, and they wanted to get the preemptive first strike in to nail our aircraft carriers. So they bombed Pearl Harbor in hopes to get our aircraft carriers, but they weren't there that day.
Well, the Japanese wanted to strike at the United States and destroy our fleet and become a dominant force in the Pacific.
But that was the only reason?
The primary reason was obligated to participate in World War II, especially on
Well, we declared war on the Japanese, then the Germans and the Italians declared war on us. That was part of the Rome, Berlin, Tokyo pact, was that if one country was declared war on, all three would come to their defense. So when we declared war on Japan, Germany and Italy automatically declared war on us.
December 7th, 1941, a day of infamy. Even as Japanese diplomats were conferring with Secretary of State Hull on peace measures, Nipponese planes were swooping down on Pearl Harbor. Japanese planes and a number of midget submarines took part in the attack. In an hour and 5 minutes, the battleship Arizona was completely destroyed and 4 others severely damaged. 3 other battleships and 3 cruisers suffered lesser damage. Nearly 200 planes were destroyed. In that Sunday morning inferno, the Pacific Fleet appeared to be completely immobilized by the sneak attack. Within hours, the United States declared war. The attack on Pearl Harbor united Americans as never before. Its historical record includes both U.S. films and pictures made by the enemy as they dropped their load of death on the naval base, on Wheeler Field, on civilian homes.
Well, the United States feared that the many Japanese that were leaving the United States were going to become a spy for Japan. So we moved them into the area away from the West Coast, Pacific Coast of California. I couldn't be technically a spy.
Yes, I read a book by George Takei, who played Sulu in Star Trek, his autobiography, and he and his family were in one of these relocation centers in Oklahoma. And what happened was basically they would take a room about the size of an average gymnasium, and they would divide it up into little tiny rooms basically with poles and just drop blankets over it or something. And that's where you stayed. And you sat there, and you were confined within that camp, and that was your little, lack of a better word, home. Well, the reason we brought him here was because this put him far enough away from the West Coast. Okay. We wanted to keep them away from wherever Japan might actually invade. However, it was definitely somewhat racially motivated in that we did not lock up a lot of Italian Americans or German Americans, but we were very concerned with Japanese Americans living on the West Coast, that they might aid the Japanese if they tried to invade San Francisco or Los Angeles or something. So that's why they were sent to relocation centers here in Oklahoma and Texas.